A federal officer was shot in the face by a legal immigrant with multiple arrests and a deportation order that New York refused to enforce. Why? Because the state protects criminals before it protects its citizens. Now, how is this man still on the street in New York after so many arrests and a deportation order? That question went straight to the New York State Attorney General, Letitia James, and this is her answer.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.
A federal officer was shot in the face by a legal immigrant with multiple arrests and a deportation order that New York refused to enforce. Why? Because the state protects criminals before it protects its citizens. Now, how is this man still on the street in New York after so many arrests and a deportation order? That question went straight to the New York State Attorney General, Letitia James, and this is her answer.
Who was shot in New York City over the weekend. 2 undocumented immigrants with final removal orders are in custody for their involvement in this. One person of interest, Miguel Mora, has a criminal history. And I just want to lay this out for our viewers who are not familiar. I know this is a little lengthy, but it's important. And that criminal history includes charges for assault on a pregnant woman and a stabbing charge in January, according to 2 senior law enforcement officials. DHS detailed 3 arrests in the last 2 years in New York City. His alleged accomplice, Christian Ibar Baroa, also entered the country illegally and has a criminal history that includes charges of reckless endangerment and felony grand larceny. He pleaded guilty to petite larceny at the Bronx County Supreme Court in June of this year and was conditionally discharged, according to DHS. Is this the kind of incident where there may be a case where law enforcement, local law enforcement, should be coordinating with immigration authorities? Both of them had these removal orders, these final removal orders.
So let me just say, I'm so glad that the officer is doing well, and we pray for a speedy recovery. 2, let me also say that it is now time for Congress to enact comprehensive immigration reform. 3, individuals, obviously, who have criminal convictions, obviously, it is the policy of the great state of New York to cooperate with ICE agents.
That's CNN Breonna Keller demanding answers after a federal officer was shot in the face by 2 illegal immigrants with long criminal records and active deportation orders. And she has the nerve to tell us that New York works with ICE. She claims that New York works with ICE to remove violent criminals. But the truth is, she is being sued by the U.S. Department of Justice for doing exactly the opposite.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today.
The DOJ lawsuit, brothers and sisters, it targets 2 laws in New York that defends illegal migrants. The green light law, which not only blocks ICE from assessing DMV data, but requires the state to notify the migrants when ICE checks on their records. Now, even New York citizens, those that are American born, don't even get that privilege. If police are investigating us and looking in the system at us, it doesn't alert us that police is looking at our information through the computer. And there's another act, which is the Protect Our Courts Act, which bans ICE from making courthouse arrests, even for migrants with serious criminal charges. That's not cooperation. That's obstruction. And that's dangerous to the communities in New York.
This lawsuit? Yeah, absolutely. So the green light laws are that this is what the green light law says. It's a green light to illegal immigration, which says they can comply. That law is unconstitutional. They can't do that. And what they've done is they have a tip-off provision that requires New York's DMV commissioner to promptly inform any illegal alien when a federal immigration agency has requested their information. So think about the men and women in law enforcement behind me. That's basically, that's not basic. It's tipping off an illegal alien, and it's unconstitutional. And that's why we filed this lawsuit. And that's why we charge Mark Schroeder, too, because he runs DMV.
Letitia James is the top law enforcement officer in New York, yet she is protecting the very policies that let this violent offenders to stay in the state illegally. And it gets worse.
It was, again, speaking to the real issues, authentic issues with an authentic voice.
She is the open supporter of Assemblyman Zoran Mandani when he is quoted saying that we must end all corroboration with ICE.
Our police force should not be assisting ICE.
Defund the NYPD and refund all of these different social services.
There is no such thing as good deportation. So she's supporting the mayoral candidate of New York State who doesn't want to work with ICE. He wants to abolish all working with ICE. Letitia James is a public supporter of this, abolishing ICE, ending all deportations, blocking law enforcement from working with federal immigration officers. He wants to shield everyone, even convicted criminals, from removal. And this is what she has endorsed. And she has the audacity to go on CNN and national television and tell people that she's actually working with ICE. That's a bold lie from the New York top cop. You can't claim to be about public safety while defending laws that alert violent criminals if a federal agency is looking at them. This is not leadership, ladies and gentlemen. This is political theater. This is what we get caught with in New York State. And now an innocent federal officer is recovering from a gunshot wound because of New York State's chosen ideology over accountability.
My hope is that we can continue to, when ICE is out in our communities and they're lodging detainers against individuals that are in this country illegally perpetuating crimes, that we would have a city like New York City start to honor them and allow us to bring these criminals to justice, allow them to get them out of our communities so that they can't continue to hurt people like we saw on Saturday night.
And here's the saddest part. New York State Attorney General Letitia James fights harder for illegal immigrants than ever. She fought for Black families who lost loved ones to police violence and street crime in New York. There's no serious oversight, there's no statewide task force, and there's no policy of reform coming from her office, which she failed to do when former Governor Cuomo put out executive order for a statewide police examination of policies and procedures. And when it got to her desk, she did literally nothing. And then we have the nerve to support her when Black mothers continue to grieve unarmed sons being killed by police. She don't demand legislative change. She don't put out any policy change for these police departments. And yet Black people still support her. Black women still support her. Even as Black mothers cry for justice that never comes from the top law enforcement officer in New York State. We have to stop dealing with emotional politics with these Black politicians because they give us nothing. They literally give us nothing. So if you have any comments about this, and yes, I'm upset because I've worked with families who reached out to her, Letitia James. I work with families who reached out to her and they get nothing from her office since she's been in office. The only thing she's been talking about is Trump. She hasn't been talking about or even talking to these families. I know for a fact an organization in New York sent her a letter. She's failed to respond. But she wants to get on TV and talk about Trump. She wants to get on TV and talk about protecting illegal migrants. This is not anti-immigration. We're talking about how you're putting people that broke crimes and have deportation orders ahead of the people that actually vote you in office, Letitia James. And this has to stop. And Black people have to stop just voting for people because they're Black. or trying to just vote for people because they're a black woman. Or we want to see a black woman in that position. No, you want to see a person that's going to do the job, whether it's black or white. See, we get caught up in this emotional politics. So please like and share the video. We have to call a spade and call balls and strikes when it's necessary. Yes, we do. And if you want to read more how we have to change our mindset, brothers and sisters, please get my book, Emotional Politics, Logical Failure. We're exposing how black political leadership, emotional narratives, and political pandering are putting our communities and our future at risk. It's time to reset and rebuild and return to accountability. Please like, share, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this bold-faced lie on CNN, how she's supporting Mandami, who doesn't want to work with ICE, want to keep illegal migrants that break the law. I have nothing wrong with migrants that come and they want to share with the American dream, but they do it legally and they contribute. But if you're out here robbing, stealing, and killing, we got enough of that in the black community. We don't need you to add on to all that. You got to get up out of here. So thanks again, brothers and sisters. And remember, like and share and check out blackwestchester.com. That's our website where we have news articles that you can read every day. We update them every day. blackwestchester.com. Please support and support our books, support our merch. This is independent black media at its finest. Thank you again, and may you have a black-tastic day and be blessed. Peace.
Tired of the same emotional politics that lead nowhere. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure by Damon K. Jones is the book Black America needs right now. It exposes the lies, challenges the gatekeepers, and calls for real strategy, not just symbolism. Power starts with truth. On sale, now, and available in audiobook on Amazon.
Tolerance is for Cowards by Damon K. Jones. This book is not anti-police, it's pro-community. Discover how the extended policing strategy empowers you to demand real public safety, justice, and accountability from your local police department. Because the black community deserves good policing. On sale now on Amazon and Audible. Discover Jesus and Divine Black Masculinity by Damon K. Jones. This a bold blueprint to restore faith, manhood, and purpose in Black America. Because the black community needs good black men. Available now on Amazon. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent black media strong. Support independent black media with style. Rock Black Westchester merch and represent the news with the black point of view. Every purchase helps us speak truth to power.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.